Welcome back to Business 360. I'm your host Naveed Manzoor, and we were talking to Mr. Haroon Mirza of Cogno Vision, a successful startup and a very successful acquisition by Intel Corp. Right now, we will be asking him about the products that Cogno Vision has brought out, and a little bit about how it is actually applied in our real life. So, Haroon, can you tell us about the product and the technology a little bit on how it is used and how it is applied in our everyday life?
For sure. So what Cogno Vision did is build essentially face detection systems, which would do things like gender detection, age bracket segmentation, and the systems in themselves were used, and specifically when I say systems, they were software.
Okay.
The software was used to anonymously detect when people are looking at digital signs. So when I talk about digital signs, these are going to be the types of screens you might see in a mall or in a retail store that are showing advertising.
Okay.
So what the problem that we addressed in the market was that advertisers were advertising on these digital screens, but did not know if their ads were being successful, or did not know what type of demographics people would fall into that actually looked at the ads.
Right.
So when you look at the world of web marketing, advertisers know what the specifics about who's clicking on the advertisements, what websites people are going to, and they can start to tailor their advertising online.
Okay.
So we help do this in the actual real world. So with Cogno Vision's technology, what advertisers are able to do is understand how many people are looking at their advertisements, what their gender is, what their age bracket is. And we do this completely anonymously. We don't do any type of facial recognition. We don't know who's looking. We just know generally and mathematically what types of individuals, such as male or female, young or old, watch the displays. Now, advertisers can use that information to better understand if their ads are being successful.
Right.
But more so than that, they can start to change their ads on the screen so that they're relevant to who's watching them.
I
So an
see. So it
example to
becomes
use-
more targeted.
Very
then,
targeted.
yeah.
So basically, for example, if a group of young women walked into a store and looked at a digital sign, the digital sign could detect the fact that there are young women looking at the screen and instantly change what's happening on the screen to perhaps show feminine products such as perfume.
I see.
And we could do the exact inverse or the flip for a male audience and tailor it based on age or gender or even things like time of day.
So there comes the business intelligence part.
That's correct, yeah.
I see. So that's very interesting, actually, especially for target marketing. For them, it's a real gem. I guess one of the things that might bother some people who are really into privacy issues, and they might say that they don't want, even though you said anonymous, but then comes the privacy rights, where people like to know if they're being watched, or for any reason, any data that is being captured and looked at, there might be an issue where people may not have a consent for it. Do you deal with that kind of lobby? Do you know those people? Do they bother you with this technology?
Well, you know, it's a great point. And what we did from day one when we designed the technology was we made the technology incapable of aggregating any personally identifiable information. So for example, the technology does not store any images or video footage. It just generates counts. So when people are looking at the screen, it would literally just increment a count saying now
Okay.
we have 5 males looking, 4 females looking. If anybody actually looked at the data, it has absolutely nothing that links it back to any type of an individual, which is almost the exact polar opposite of what happens online. Because when you're online,
okay.
people know who you are. You know,
True.
when you're browsing through your Facebook profile, they know exactly what Naveed and Mukesh have been
Right.
clicking on and looking at.
Yeah.
So we actually keep it extremely anonymous and built privacy into the very design of the technology, which is why I just to reiterate, it's not recognition at all. It's
Right.
anonymous detection.
I see. So, I mean, this is a very interesting concept, and I guess in technology, the price is, or the success is based on an idea, really. And this was an idea that somehow got into your head. What was the background of that? What was the motivation? And why did you have to be an entrepreneur to have put all this as a business when you could have actually, with your degree and your qualification, you've gotten a easy job somewhere and make your living? It's a high risk. What is the motivation? Let's start with that.
Yeah, sure. Well, first off, what I would even say, Naveed, is the idea in itself is not as important. The idea is one piece of success, but it's the execution of the idea that really makes a difference, I think, for people who are able to come up with something and bring it to life and actually execute it. Now, to give you just a bit of background as well, I mean, even though Cognivision was a technology company, I have a finance background. And so a lot of people would ask, how did you get into technology?
Yeah, I would have asked you, yeah.
And the basic thing for me was, see, university in itself provided me a platform which helped me learn how to learn, okay? I learned how to absorb information, how to apply information. It really didn't matter what that information was. I learned how to present, I learned how to work with teams, and these were all the soft skills which I think played a huge role in my personal development. And I always had a knack for technology. I couldn't build technology, but I had a knack for technology. So this is where I think the beauty of partnerships comes into play. So me and my two co-founders, the three of us collectively, all brought complementary skill sets to one another. Two of us were actually very business-minded, myself and Faisal. And Shahzad had a PhD in computer science.
Okay.
So he could build anything. So when we came together, we just let each of us leverage and build on our strengths. And my strength, and I think my passion at the time, and it still continues on today, was more so to be essentially driving the growth of a company, getting out there and building relationships, and I enjoyed that, presenting.
So the business aspect of it,
Yeah.
business development to be more precise, as well as the leadership, as you are the CEO, obviously you drove the whole engine, but you had an excellent partnership, more of a symbiotic nature, so that you could all, put the technology, the business part and finance part together and make it a success, which is a example.
But one point over there is, even this whole CEO title in a startup doesn't really mean much.
It's true.
The whole aspect is you're literally maybe the face of the company, but the company is driven by the founding team.
True.
And this is a really, really important element and distinction. I mean, you have to park things like egos on it. It's just about playing a role and getting out there and executing as a team. And for myself as well, I mean, when you're very young and you're playing some sort of a role such as a CEO, it means that you have to become a better presenter, you have to become more articulate. And these are all different skill sets that you have to work on, right? So I think, again, when you're young, there are other things that you face, challenges with your age.
True.
When people look at you, they might write you off as a kid, right? And to overcome that barrier and that challenge, I think if you can just show that you're able to be extremely professional, you're able to talk as well as others, heck, better than others, you can out-present others. If you can work on those skill sets, that will differentiate you from the pack.
Excellent. And this is very important for our viewers because it's coming from the horse's mouth. And so they better listen to it and understand that it's all about collaboration, cooperation, and basically to have the spirit of entrepreneurship, and no egos should be involved. Thank you, Haroon. Let's talk to Mr. Gupta. Like Haroon was mentioning, the different attributes which are absolutely essential for startup. What, in your opinion, with your experience, and I'm sure you have dealt with so many startups, what are the essentials that one has to look for, and some of the impediments, some of the common issues that you know about that you can advise about as well?
Most definitely, Naviji, and like Haroon said that, no one can do it alone. So in this dynamic age in life, we need to look at collaborative models. And even though when we are innovating, and like Haroon said, that he alone was not able to bring all the skill set that is required. And like अपनी उर्दू की ज़बान में बोलते हैं कि जब हम मकान बनाते हैं तो ईंट पत्थर गारा मिलकर के मकान खड़ा होता है.
Correct.
And no one material itself can create. So therefore,
joint effort.
Yes, it's a collective effort, collaborative effort, and the hope is that once we bring all of these energies together, how do you draw the synergies out of it, and how do you achieve the common goal?
But what are the building blocks? I mean, in your opinion, essentials that you feel that's core issues?
See, the core issue is the idea generation. So people have to have an idea, and once they have agreed and discussed this idea and it needs to be validated. The idea gets validated from such forums that we create, entrepreneurial forum. That's another program that we do in TIE, that where people are able to bring forward these ideas, and having a roundtable discussion provides that opportunity to validate those ideas.
Okay.
And once that ideas are validated, and having a global ecosystem for the TIE, it's not limited to technology company. It is all facets of entrepreneurial activities.
Sure.
And so person may be sitting in Silicon Valley, in the case of Haroon, that they were able to leverage through the TIE network. We have 57 chapters all across the globe.
Okay.
And through our chapters, we are able to collaboratively share information. And when people are coming to our TIEQuest forum, and they itself, the whole process itself allows them to give that type of exposure.
I see. But what about, when we talk about essential elements, another addition to that is, as you mentioned, is the synergy part, which means we are talking about not only the concept, we are talking about funding, where one can develop some sort of a prototype. And then you're talking about, once that is successful, you need some more money to actually get a good team together. And besides good team, then you have an element of again validating the market and basically looking for additional funding. So what, in your opinion, is a process which would assist not only in putting the team together, but also to acquire funding and especially address some of the issues which are absolutely essential for seeking funding from either angels or from VC companies? What are those elements?
Well, we have within our network seasoned business people who themselves also act as angels. They are investors, they are venture capitalists. And so having that access available to them, and through the TIEQuest venture program, one of the promises also is that they do get prizes. Their technology get validated and they get awards. And so $150,000 worth of prizes are distributed, and up to $1 million worth of capital that is available should the idea be.
So the TIECon, is that a program, or is that a competition, or is that something which actually really pre-qualifies entrepreneurs to go to the next level with TIE?
That's correct. And some of the success of TIEQuest has been that many of our finalist companies have been funded. And some of the companies, including Haroon's, has been exited. So that itself becomes a whole validation process. And now, every year we are seeing a growth in number of companies wanting to come and participate. So as a next step, what we are trying to achieve in the TIE Institute is create a very formal way of educating on different facets of life, whether it is entrepreneurship itself, to funding, to structuring the organization, and how do we access to providing the exposure.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gupta. Just one last question to Haroon. Haroon, now that you have achieved your exit strategy, I'm assuming it was when Intel acquired you. What is your plan? Where would you go next? Are you going to start something new, or are you going to stick around as part of your committed contract with the Intel?
I think you never know what the future holds, and right now, the part of the journey that I'm enjoying is actually to see the technology that we built at Cognivision and to actually grow it through Intel. So it's a fascinating process to go through to actually see our brainchild now be everywhere in the world with that Intel name on it. So that's where we're focusing on right now.
Well, thank you so much. Good luck with your venture, Haroon. And it was a remarkable achievement, and we are very proud as Canadians and as entrepreneurs. We are very much inspired. If there's a message you'd like to give out to our viewers, which would be a source of motivation, please go ahead.
Sure. Thank you, Naveed. I would say, what I would say is really important for all entrepreneurs to focus on is just always persevere, have passion and drive, park your egos, work with partners, and just honestly believe that anything is possible. Just follow your heart and dreams. That's it.
Thank you, Harun. Mr. Mukesh, we are winding up, and we were so happy to know that an organization such as yours is out there serving so many people and creating so many success stories. South Asian community in particular are indebted to you, but at the same time, there are more people who are inspiring to become entrepreneurs and would require your help. We would certainly appreciate if you can, sort of give them a message and tell them what you would be able to do for them, and if they want to get in touch with you, would they go on your website, or how would you want them to get in touch with TiE?
Well, thank you, Naveedji. Thank you for the opportunity to present and to be able to have this conversation. And my message to the would-be entrepreneurs, or even if you're thinking about it, the key message is that you're not alone. We can do it, and you have in it you to make it happen.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Gupta.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Harun. It was
Thank
a
you.
pleasure. To conclude our Business 360 episode for today, I'd like to tell our viewers that, as Mr. Gupta has mentioned, that there is help. There are people out there who are reaching out to you. Please get back to them. If you have an idea, you have dreams, you have your aspirations to make it and to succeed, then keep those dreams alive. Make sure that with the example of Cognovision, which has been a source of pride for a country, you could be someone like Mr. Harun, and you could be someone that could be the next entrepreneur looking for an exit and being acquired. Thank you very much. See you next time.